Don't forget to like and subscribe, and share your opinion down below. Am I the idiot for not trying harder to tell my husband I was in labor? My husband, who I do love and does love me, is a distant and private person to everyone. His mom was having health problems and I didn't know until weeks later when I speak to her. I asked him how she was doing later, and he said he didn't know. That's just how he deals with things. He doesn't want to get too personal with anyone. We share hobbies and can have good conversations as long as they are not too personal. It can be off-putting, but I do genuinely enjoy his company. Jump to this last week. I am pregnant and went into labor. It was only a few days before my due date, so nothing concerning. I tried to call his work, but his phone went right to voicemail because he was in a meeting. I text him. Still no answer. I waited a half hour, tried again and still couldn't get through. My labor was getting further along. So, I called a friend to get a ride to the hospital. By the time my husband checked his phone at the end of the workday, I had already given birth to our daughter. Everything was very straightforward, no complications. We were ready to leave by the next morning. My husband is upset with me though, saying I should have come by his work to tell him it was time. But he has always been distant about work. I know what department he works in, but not where his office is in the building. It would have been awkward. My husband has told me what I did was unforgivable. He hasn't called me an idiot, but has said I am a horrible person for denying him the joy of seeing our daughter born. Am I the idiot for not trying harder to contact him? Info, because a lot are asking. I did text specifically that I was in labor. I left voicemail to the same. I panicked a bit and didn't call his office because he likes to keep work and home separate. Which means I don't know a lot about his work, and I was worried I would overshare to his co-workers by calling. And him not checking his phone. That is a part of his work-home split too. He doesn't deal with anything work related at home, but also just put his personal phone out of his mind at work. It is rare for me to get a response from him at all while he is at work on a normal day. He expected you, a person in labor, to come to his work to find him, and he had his phone off, instead of silence or WTV, when he very much knew that you were days from your due date. Not the idiot. Your husband is just clueless. He needs to have been better in general about paying attention. Not the idiot. None of these things you listed sound personal to me. They sound like the normal things that partners talk about from day to day. It's also strange to me that he is upset that you deprived him of being in the room instead of him depriving you support as you gave birth. Not the idiot. WTF. This is such manipulative BS. It's not enough that he didn't answer his phone when he knew his wife was close to her due date, but he has to blame her for missing the birth. He has to say she should have come to his work, while in labor, to tell him? That is disgusting. It's his fault he missed the birth. Period. Blaming it on you is appalling. Am I the idiot for kicking my friend out after what he did? I am 28, lost my late fiancée in 2018 in an auto accident. It was hard for me to process this sudden change in my life. It took me time to get in therapy. My sister helped me with it even though it was already late. I was advised to get into a group therapy. And I did. 6 months ago, I met a guy, Jason, who also lost his partner. We started talking outside of therapy. We'd meet at different places and he started introducing me to a few of his friends who went through the same as me and him, and I was told I'm welcome in the group. The guys do a lot of activities together. I started taking part in their activities. Attend events and do bonding activities. We'd gather every Thursday night. Play video game or talk. Jason is the one comes up with plans and activities for the guys. I noticed all 4 guys have gotten the same tattoo. When I brought it up, they said the tattoo represents the group. I decided to wait after Jason suggested I get one as well. They've mentioned that none of them wanted to meet people and start over. The issue started when Jason saw me talking online with my new girlfriend. He asked about it and seemed upset, but I told him this was just a friend because I didn't want to tell him much, so he dropped it. On Valentine, the guys made plans to spend the night in and play games. I told them I wanted to go to my parents' house. And they said okay. I came back to my place at 8 p.m. I was surprised to see Jason there. He had a spare key but I expected him to be with the guys. Jason looked upset. He said he was there to pick up his laptop and saw the gift my new GF sent me in the morning. He asked why I didn't mention I have a GF who's sending me gifts. He said I lied to the entire group and disrespected them. I was stunned when he said he threw the gift in the trash can because what I was doing was disrespectful of my late fiance's memory. I lost my shit on him. I yelled at him, told him he had no right to try to dictate my life and get involved like that. We argued for a few minutes and he said he hoped I'll be able to sleep at night for doing this to my late fiance, then left. He had the guys calling and texting hurtful things. Calling me a liar and a manipulator. Went on about the commitment to not disrespect our partner's memories and that I needed to make things right or they won't be welcoming me into the group again. Thing is, Jason supported me a lot. I remember when he was the only one who had time to hear about my issues even outside of therapy. He went through a lot and lost his wife and brother the same year. From what I understand, he's a sympathetic person and so I trusted him and the guys as well. But I find what he did unacceptable and the way he keeps stomping over boundaries got me stressed out. Not the idiot, and it sounds like you could do with finding a less toxic support group because this is not healthy. Can your therapist recommend some alternatives? Not the idiot. Some people get ready to move on faster than others. He had no right to throw it in the trash and get involved with it. If he wanted to ask a question about it, then fair enough, and yeah, he might have been a bit annoyed because of what happened with his partner, but that was no excuse to act how he did and got the group to send you hurtful messages. Not the idiot. Jason was completely out of line. Block all those people. They're not your friends or they would want you to find someone else to be happy with, and change your locks ASAP so that Jason can't come into your home again. Am I the idiot for leaving Zoom call with family after the way my mom talked to my fiancé? My fiancé, 41F, and I, 28M, have been together for 3 years. Yes, I know there's an age gap and that's what the problem has been for my mom. The rest of my family were eventually cool with it once they got to know her. We're both very happy in our relationship, have lived together over a year, and 4 months ago I proposed. Just a few weeks ago we found out she's pregnant and couldn't be happier. I'm beyond excited about becoming a dad and starting a family with her, which is what we plan to do at some point after getting married. We decided to announce it a couple days ago during a Zoom call with my family. It was my fiancé and myself, my parents, my sister, my 2 aunts and my brother. Everyone congratulated us when we told them, and my mom was the only one who was silent. I know she always had a problem with my relationship because of the age gap, no matter how many times I told her I am very happy and she's the love of my life. She never actually said anything directly to my fiancé, but she's aware my mom's not a fan. This time my mom practically blew up at her. My mom actually said how dare she trap me into this relationship, as if we weren't already engaged. She just did this to make sure I had no choice but to stick around for the baby's sake. My dad tried to calm her down but my mom was too upset and angry. My fiancé looked really hurt and I snapped at my mom. I said she had no right talking to my fiancé like that and acting like it's on her that she got pregnant. As if I had no part in that. It got pretty heated and the last thing I told her is I don't want to talk to her until she's ready to apologize and respect my fiancé. Before anyone else said anything I left the chat. My fiancé was still really hurt and it took some time for us both to calm down. Everyone else after that said I acted like a jerk when it's obvious my mom was just blindsided by the news and wasn't thinking right. That what I should have done was talk to my mom instead of rudely ending the call and making it awkward for them. My mom is still mad and won't talk to me, and my family is taking her side here for the way I reacted. But whenever I point out how she reacted and treated my fiancé, they tell me I should have been more understanding of her feelings. So I don't know, was I an idiot? Not the idiot at all. You stood up for and protected your fiancé when you were both attacked by your mother. You did the right thing. Don't let anyone in your family tell you you were wrong. Not the idiot. Your mom is unreasonable. Just straight up tell your family that if they're gonna take her side then they shouldn't bother talking to you anymore and just don't talk to them. Not the idiot. Your mother shouldn't talk to anyone like that, regardless of the difference in age between you and your fiancé. Your mom was ugly and the consequences of that are you sticking up for someone you love. I highly doubt it was just being blindsided. I have a feeling these are things she had been feeling for a long time and it finally all burst out.